Loomer, the political Jezebel. Thank you for tuning in to another video. This is Papa Genius on urban politics. And for the last few videos, I've talked about this group with Jeffrey Epstein, with this temple on his island, witchcraft, the sorcery, the Kabbalism, the idol worship of Baal and Moloch, and even how it's now coming into the modern times of revelations and the end times, and how now Israel and old Rome, their battle is now a new battle, and it's now Israel versus the new Rome. And how Israel has gotten America into this war against Iran. I've talked about the Baal ballroom that President Donald Trump is trying to erect. And I even talked about his son-in-law and how I believe that he is possibly the New Age Meshua and the little horn of the South. And today I want to talk about Loomer. And a lot of it is in regards to the nasty rhetoric that she has constantly perpetuated over the years of being known in the media, and now her role as an administrative advisor to President Trump. She's been described to being having the ear of the president. And when I heard that, and also knowing the nasty things she talked about in regards to Candace Owens. Now, I'm not a Candace Owens fan. I'm a Black American woman. I don't care that she's a Black American woman. I'm the type of political person that I am for you if you're doing right, and I am not for you if you're doing wrong. There's a lot of things that Candace Owens has done. Let's forget about some of the nasty things she's said towards the Black American community. Let's just say that there's some things I just don't agree with. But there are a lot of things that I have sided with her in regards to Charlie Kirk after his passing, and how his widow has failed to really rally for the true understanding of what caused his death. But I will say this, it did not excuse the rhetoric that Loomer has just spoken about Candace Owens in her past life, dating life, and how she divulged to Loomer that she would go after white guys when she was younger, and she knew she had the confidence to break up their relationships with their white girlfriends or whatever, okay? It doesn't deserve the tearing down of Candace Owens' character as a married woman who is a mother in what seems to be a successful relationship, okay? And that's something that she has not been able to add to her own personal checklist that she really wants. That's not a goal for everyone. Let me put that out there. But for Loomer, it definitely is. And for her to use race and try to tear her down in regards to Candace Owens as a woman, as a wife, as a mother is disgusting. And I noticed that she used something that is very divisive as a white woman in America, and that is to deter the connection, the love matches that occur between white men and Black women. See, there's always been a long, ongoing history of where white women have, unfortunately, historically, have been vices to create division between a Black American woman and a white American man from entering into contracts of marriage, because it would potentially cut off their financial upcoming. And to me, I feel like that's an underlying racism, prejudice, and is very divisive. By using these racist tropes, she's harping on to white men and women and their insecurities and the sensitivities of race relationships in this country. And with Donald Trump co-signing Loomer's rhetoric by placing Candace Owens on a fake Time magazine as a caricature of urban Black, quote unquote, loose woman, this ghetto image when she's far from that. She's very, very inept. She's very educated, and she is able to go toe to toe with anyone politically. And they tried to do the same thing with Duchess Meghan Markle and with her marriage with Duke Harry. You know, they're always trying to tear her down with this matriarch here, white matriarch here in the United States, even though both Candace and Meghan are Black American women that are married to English white gentlemen. And they're seeming to be perfectly okay with their Black wives. But there is this group here in America that uses that to try to deter and help to also, they raise their sons up having that same vitriol towards Black women, and they automatically go into society thinking badly about Black women because of what they have experienced in their own upbringing with their white mothers. Another thing is Trump co-signing this doesn't help, and him putting up this fake Time magazine of her, it just shows his deplorable behavior as well, and all of the rumors that have gone on about him of Black American women that have worked with him that have complained that he is prejudiced.
Loomer is trending for a tweet that she directed to me yesterday that upset a lot of people. It upset them because it was just so shockingly dark and demonic. This is the tweet that I am referring to that's trending. It's directed to me after yesterday's episode. She said, "God hates you," at Real Candace O. It's why he gave Charlie to Erica and why you didn't even get to say goodbye to him. God hates you. Look in the mirror and internalize how much God hates you. We all hate you. Humanity hates you. And you are irredeemable. And this caused a reaction across the internet. I think like 6,000 people replied to that tweet alone in a ratio. And I think I was going, why are people surprised by this?
So then she gets her job with Turning Point USA. And then one day, Kanye West posts some tweet and says, "Oh, I love the way that Candace Owens thinks." And then Candace Owens immediately texts me like, "Oh my God, can you share this? This is so cool. Oh my God, this is so amazing. Wow, Kanye just tweeted me." And then she and Charlie Kirk ended up going out to California and having a private meeting with Kanye West. And you can see here, there's the tweet. 2018, I love the way that Candace Owens thinks. And then Candace Owens got invited to go and fly out to California with Charlie Kirk, and they had their secret meeting with Kanye West. Why do I bring this up? Because, 2018 comes around, and then, this is around the time, fast forward a bit, that Candace Owens, right, loves to talk about her love story with George Farmer. Well, towards the end of the year, I remember I texted Candace Owens and I was like, "Oh, I wanted to wish you a happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and how's Ryan?" And she said, "Oh, Ryan's great. We're living in Philadelphia." And they had moved in together. So Candace Owens was living in a condo in Philadelphia with Ryan, her boyfriend of 7 years or 8 years, and this cat. And then all of a sudden, randomly, one day I wake up and then I see news reports, "Oh, Candace Owens is engaged." And I remember saying, "Oh, congratulations to you and Ryan." And then all of a sudden I see this report about how she is engaged to this guy named George Farmer. And it was the weirdest thing ever, because 2 weeks prior I had asked her how she's doing, and she had told me that she was literally living in Philadelphia with Ryan, right? Ryan and her cat. And so the way this turned out is that Candace Owens apparently went to some Turning Point USA event in the UK with Charlie Kirk, ended up meeting George Farmer, who was very much involved with Turning Point UK, and then they stayed in touch, and then they had all these conversations, and as George Farmer likes to describe it, and there's videos of this online, right? With George Farmer talking about it, how they met and there was nothing romantic. And again, it fits the exact 2-week time frame, because I told you, I literally had messaged her, "Oh, happy holidays."
Or Loomer calls Candace Owens a nappy-headed B-word. Here's the background.
And for some reason, there's a lot of people that are really afraid of this nappy-headed Black bitch.
Welcome to MAGA. I'm not saying all MAGA, but let's say a large portion of MAGA. There you go. There it is. There it is. Let's keep it going, though. Here we go.
Just has a lot to say, but not really a lot to offer. So I'm not afraid of Candace Owens, and I'm happy to match her energy. I'm happy to wrestle in the mud with that bitch. And
Wrestle in the mud, you say. According to Candace Owens, Laura Loomer has been sexually assaulting young men at a serial level. Here's the accusation.
Laura Loomer is also a malignant sexual predator.
Your hair and your eyes look so good. You're like beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like an Aryan degenerate goddess.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. You're Aryan too.
I know, but I'm Jewish.
It's okay.
Because you're such a cutie.
Don't mess my hair. God damn it. Fix it. Fix my hair. Did you fix it?
I did. But like that picture you posted on Instagram recently when you got like reinstated on Facebook was so hot. Like seriously.
I appreciate it.
It's so good.
It's a good picture.
Your skin and the Nazis hate me.
It's fun.
The alt-right people want to put me in a gas chamber because they're obsessed with the Jews.
The reason why I put a trigger warning on this video is because I think it is very disrespectful to the legacy of people that are in her ancestry that possibly experienced the Holocaust and all the brutality that came with Hitler's regime in Europe, and everything that we know about the Aryan race and the constant science experiments that they were doing on people of Jewish ancestry during that time, and the suffering that went on in the Holocaust and in those camps. It is appalling to me that she would even joke around with something like that. That's like myself having Black American ancestry. My people are from slavery on both my maternal and paternal side, and I'm joking around with someone saying that it's cool to whip me. It's cool to, that's sickening, because that was brutality. And so for her to say something like that in a jokingly way because you're trying to come on to a man sexually, it is beyond me.
Let me know. We'll hang out. Bring your girlfriend to New York sometime and we'll all hang out. We'll go to like really cool restaurants and hang out and we'll have a blast.
Yes, I will bring my girlfriend.
Yeah, I want to meet. What, Becca?
Yeah.
Becca.
Yes.
She's so sweet.
You remember?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. You'll meet her.
You guys are so sweet. I hope it works out because like I said, I know it's all in that. Like I know everything you do on Twitter is like so fake and not real, but
yeah,
like
it's all fake.
it's so sweet that you like and your girlfriend have been together for 3 years. I love it.
I know it's all an act.
Do you know something? Like I'm gonna tell you a secret. Like, do you know so many people in this movement who preach trad life are like fucking people on the side and like cheating on their partners?
That's
like,
so bad.
Like they're not even like really trad life.
Such
like
scum.
Like my ex is like dating somebody who's like super trad life, and she was like fucking my boyfriend while we were dating and like ruined our relationship. And I act like it's okay, but like it's really sad because like I love when people like keep tradition in their relationships. It's just really sad.
And called me crazy, but what are they doing? I want to know what people are actually going to do. My life is ruined. Does anybody understand how ruined my life is? I'm sick of it. I don't want to listen to people tell me that I'm a conspiracy theorist. They don't know what it's like to be me. My life.
And all the controversy and all the influence, unfortunately, she was just a student at Barry University in Miami trying to figure out how to get attention with a face like hers.
Who the hell do these people think they are? Send them back to where they came from.
Laura Loomer, a two-time congressional candidate loser. Could not even, she ran for Congress twice, couldn't even win. Totally unelectable, totally untrustworthy, rejected by the people, rejected by MAGA. She starts she's talking to Trump all the time and he's listening to her. And it was like, what is happening?
Craziest. That's what the Laura Loomer Donald Trump relationship is, one of the most effed up relationships.
People have to understand it. He loves cult-like worship. And she has made Donald Trump her God. Literally, he's the one and only in the entire universe.
Crazy.
Is Donald Trump. She doesn't even acknowledge God. She clearly doesn't believe in God. Unless she's saying that God hates Candace Owens, which is absolutely absurd.
And this is where I believe that she has the spirit of Jezebel. And there are so many similarities between Laura Loomer and the biblical character of Queen Jezebel. In 1 Kings 16:31, it says, "It came to pass as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to a wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him." Whew. There are so many similarities in this scripture. And also similarities between King Ahab and Trump. He built an ivory house. He's trying to build that ballroom. Married to Jezebel. Not saying he's married to Laura Loomer, but he's entered into a contract with her. He's entered into like a spiritual contract with her because she has the ear of the President of the United States. They both are in the same faith. They both are within the Judaism faith. Trump has done a lot in these past few weeks that has been sacrilegious to the Christian faith, with the picture that he reposted of himself and something that looked very similar to the images of the European version of Jesus and his in the clothing and the garbs that are usually painted on Jesus. He continuously calls himself the Messiah, the chosen one. There's so many things that he has done that I know that God is not pleased with. And his character. He has destroyed the American credibility all over the world in his most recent term. And with all of these tariff struggles and battles between these nations and our nation, it has sealed our future as a country with other countries. And Trump is serving 2 terms. Ahab is served 2 and 2 years. He served 22 years have served, or terms that they have served. And King Ahab and Jezebel did something very interesting that is indicative to our time now. They harassed a small land, okay? And the land it belonged to a citizen by the name of Naboth. He had a vineyard. And outside of the palace, you can look into Naboth's vineyard. The same thing in regards to Israel and Palestine. Israel is in a current war and genocide against Palestine because they want that little itty bitty piece of land. They can't rest until they get that itty bitty little piece of land. And they're willing to destroy children, women, old people, just to get this piece of land that historically does not belong to them. But they don't care. And the summarized version of Naboth vineyard and Jezebel and Ahab is this. So it's in 1 Kings 21, a biblical story of injustice where King Ahab of Israel desires a vineyard belonging to Naboth for a vegetable garden. When Naboth refuses to sell his ancestral inheritance, Jezebel orchestrates a false charge of blasphemy against Naboth, leading to his stoning. Now, I thought it was very interesting that Laura Loomer is constantly in the ear of Trump, and she's always egging him on to do evil acts against Palestine in accordance with Netanyahu and the IDF. Here goes a post that Laura Loomer wrote a few months ago. It says, not to sound crass, but can the foreign policy experts please explain to me how importing a bunch of Muslims from Gaza into the U.S., whose kids will be like leeches in welfare, contributes anything positive to our country? And then guess what? It says Laura, in an article later, not too long after she made that post, Laura Loomer's latest victim, visas for critically injured Palestine kids. And then guess what? Shortly after that, suddenly the U.S. suspends visas for Gazans after a far-right influencer's post. Do you see what I'm saying? That's something that Jezebel would have done to King Ahab. She would have had his ear. She was the type of person and the type of woman that she incited evil. She was not for good. And she worshiped. Not only did she worship Baal, but she worshiped that office that Ahab was in. Because technically, she wanted to be in leadership herself. Actually, she was the leader, even though she was the queen, because everything she told Ahab to do, he did it. And the similarities, even with their faiths, a lot of what they believe in is through the Cabal. They believe in Kabbalism. And that's an esoteric, mysticist form of Judaism. And we know that he was very close friends with Epstein, and Epstein practiced Kabbalism is himself. And I share that in many videos I've done in the past. Even this current ballroom he's trying to build, people are calling it, as I have called it, the BAAL room, the ballroom, not the ballroom. And even with this current assassination attempt that's quote unquote real, but I have absolutely no idea if it is or not, because it's very strange that the first thing that you want to mention after an attempt has been taken out on your life at the correspondence dinner, it's not about gun reform and safety laws for guns. You're more concerned about getting your ballroom completed. And so you get everyone that's in your corner to also post and support your plight. But Laura Loomer is someone that is not to be trusted. And it is very strange on how, and I've done a video on her in the past, so you can look through those videos. I've done one on her in the past. And it's very strange that Laura Loomer also took a picture with the Ark of the Covenant. With her character and her lack of morals and her inability to be humble, it is beyond me. She takes a picture on the side of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is an old Jewish relic in the Old Testament, and it is a type of Christ. This is like the thing that is a representation of God. And for her to think that she's worthy enough to stand next to it, and for Trump to even have a replica of the Ark of the Covenant at Mar-a-Lago, with us now knowing so many things has occurred at Mar-a-Lago, him having that there, even if it's a replica, it's so sacrilegious to me. And that's not even my faith. I'm Christian. That's not even my faith. And I feel offended. Let me know what you think about Laura Loomer. Do you see the similarities between her and Jezebel? Let me know what you think in regards to her negative comments she made about Candace Owens, and her comments she even made to that young white man in regards to her wanting to make a baby with him because of his genetic features of him being white and having Aryan features That is beyond me. This woman, she needs help, psychological help. She needs prayer. And she needs to be put out of that White House because she is dangerous to our future. Thank you so much for supporting. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing your comments. Thank you and be blessed.
And black woman, I don't need no man. And I'm going to get Whitey. I'm going to get Whitey. And I'm going to lock Donald Trump up, just like Letitia James, right? And she goes, now you're going to elect me and I'm going to lock him up. We're going to get Trump. Like the way they talk and their little DEI Shaniqua voices. And they all have the same voice. I'm talking about Kamala Harris, Letitia James, and Fannie Willis. Like meritless DEI Shaniquas talk the same way. It's very obnoxious.
You know what's weird, though? Isn't it weird to you all that he's spending more time with Laura Loomer than we've seen him with Melania or his daughter?
No, that tracks. Well, that tracks.
That helps, right? Laura, is that right? Hi, Laura. Boy, you're something. What spirit you have. Laura Loomer, thank you, honey, for being here. Appreciate it. She's, you know, she can be a little nasty, but to me, she's always nice. So that's all that matters. I want her to stay that way, too.